Hello everyone, welcome to the Pequeno pod with Señor Pequeños. If you want episodes early, bonus episodes, special guest interviews, and other perks, please consider supporting us on Patreon, which will give you all of those things for the price of one coffee cup per month. You can find us at patreon.com/pequenopod, Pequeno pod. Otherwise, enjoy this free episode, and I hope you have an awful day. You talk about not being able to eat all the rest of the day, and now is when you eat.
Okay, I'm done.
Put it in a bowl or something off to the side so you don't have to rummage with your hand through it like every time you need one.
The reason she only ate 7 Cheerios.
I was like, Lively, stop eating. She's like, okay, I'm sorry.
How was Chicago, by the way, Nick?
Good. I just went to a bunch of comic book shops.
Nice.
But
cool.
I went into one of them, and this guy was having a little pissy fit. And he's like, you guys want a chocolate bar? And I'm like, okay. I've never been here, by the way. And I was like, oh, okay. So he throws me a Mr. Beast chocolate bar. Apparently, he got drunk and he bought 60 of them. And he was scanning all of them, and none of them were winners. So he was just mad.
Oh, that's nice.
And we all got chocolate, and we left because you didn't have anything. It was a small, dinky little place. So that was fun.
But free chocolate?
Dude, he was on, like, the verge of, like...
Oh, no!
He was not okay. That's why we're like, alright, well, thanks.
How old was he that he was buying Mr. Beast candy in a store in Chicago?
30s?
Oh, good.
Cool
Yeah, it wasn't
guy.
like some old, like, geezer being like, you guys want chocolate?
I've been buying Mr. Beast chocolate bars all morning.
My mortgage!
Someone wanders in like, Grandpa, there you are. Goodness gracious. We've been worried sick.
What was the Mr. Beast chocolate bar for? Was it like you win $1 million if you win or something?
I genuinely don't know what
or was he doing like a
is.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing?
I think so, because it says mystery ticket. There was a code on the back, but he he ripped it off before giving it to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
classic.
yeah. What a guy.
Interesting.
What a guy.
I got on some Mr. Beast distribution a while ago, and I keep forgetting to turn it off, but every once in a while, I'll just look at my phone, and they'd be like, text message from Mr. Beast. I'm like,
Hello?
hello?
Sir?
Sir Beast?
I would like some money, please, so
Yeah,
I can
please
quit
give
my
me
job.
money.
It's the chocolate bar guy. Do you have any more chocolate?
Yeah. Chocolate. Where does he get all the money from? Just ad revenue, Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
It's like recycled, though, isn't it? I mean, he gets a lot of money because he gives away a lot. Like, I don't think, like, he personally has a lot of money. He talks about that, I think, a few times. Yeah. That being
all the
said,
money he does get, he just puts it straight into the videos.
yeah. Like, I've never seen any of his, like, pretty much any of his videos, but I've seen him talk a couple times about that, because people are always like, you must be super rich, and he's like, actually, we just, like, we just kind of, like, siphon it in and out, which is, like, that's the way to make YouTube videos, so he's doing a good job with it. It's different, though, because a lot of other people, like, that's the problem, is they want to keep the money, right? Because they want the YouTuber mansion and the YouTuber car and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. But good for him. I don't know.
Where's the Pequeno pod mansion?
It's a shack in Ohio.
It's a shack in St.
Not
Louis.
Ohio. Oh, man.
Ohio. It's a little one bedroom in Delaware.
That's a closet.
Welcome.
My closet. You only have access to my closet.
Great.
Lively finally moved. She's just living in my closet.
I wanted to live in my closet under the stairs when I was little. Like, this was like before Harry Potter movies were
She's
out.
like, I wanted to be poor before it was cool,
But-
guys.
No, it was like the perfect size for me, and I wanted to live in there. And my mom
Under
was
the
like,
stairs
no.
is the perfect size for anybody. It's kind of a weird reason.
Well, I was just like, I was tiny, you know. I was like, I can just stick my bed in here, and my mom's like, and it would only be your bed though. And I was like, perfect. I want to live in here.
Lively's guidelines for living somewhere are that it has to be her perfect size for her.
A bed. That's it.
Yeah.
She passes by like a sewer grate in the street. She's like, this will be my new room. It can fit me.
Hold the mattress.
Everyone's Everyone's
Dude,
like, wait,
I'm
what is
like-
she doing? She's just like crawling in it. I fit. It's mine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like liquid. I can fit like into the small crevices and stuff.
Excuse me.
You've never heard.
I'm like liquid.
Never heard I'm like liquid?
You've never heard like.
No,
cats
we're
are liquid?
solid. No.
Is that a quote from the new Batman movie?
No.
I am liquid.
Yeah,
What?
okay.
That's why he scares the shit out of criminals, not because he looks terrifying, but because he just says the weirdest fucking shit. Like, I am liquid. They're like, huh?
No, I'm a gas, and he just evaporates.
Vapes himself away. They're like, whoa, dude, what the fuck?
The bat is in my lungs.
Dude's just trying to inhale, like, I have the bat in me.
I feel like the new Batman movie kind of like indicated he was crazy. Like I feel like they kind of like dropped that in there, like sprinkled it in there a little bit. They're like, yeah, he's mentally ill, but without like straight up saying it. I feel like they were like hinting at it.
You mean the part where he walked up and he goes, I think I'm crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's not the part you were talking about.
No, the part when he was like ripping his eyelashes out. That part.
He's just like walked out of the darkness. Everyone's like, "Who are you?" He's like, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I am cum. Like, whoa, what, dude?
I have 7 guns in my ass, and you're like, ah.
He walks up and this little thing's like, I am the black condom. Everyone's like, what the fuck, dude? What?
Dude, get away from us.
Dude, did he just say he was black? Batman canceled, bro.
Batman canceled.
They kind of, I don't know, the Batman one is an interesting movie. Has everyone seen it at this point?
Nick doesn't watch the superhero movies, remember?
Oh, yeah. Nope. We talked about this. No. TikTok is funny, though, because, I mean, it's still pumping out Batman memes of just, like, him being this goth child and, like...
Nirvana playing.
Yeah, like, there's a sound on TikTok right now where someone's like, and I don't want the world to see me! And, like, people are using that sound, but, like, it's someone being like that with it.
Can you sing it one more time, please?
That's the way the guy in the video sings it, like, on purpose. But, like, so videos that I'm seeing are, like, Catwoman in bed waiting for Bruce to get out of the shower, and she's just, like, sitting there while that sound's playing in the background. And I don't want the world to see me!
Dude, yeah, this Batman was a kind of a loser.
A little bit. Like, it was a good movie, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I just, like, yeah, I didn't feel like they had
Didn't we have this conversation?
Did we? I don't know. Should we move on? I don't remember.
You're like, I'm
Yeah,
having
we
deja
totally
vu.
called Batman an incel like 4 episodes ago.
We predicted it?
We
Didn't we?
predicted something that wasn't someone dying. Good. I don't know. We'll have to look it up and find out.
Is this
I should know.
deja vu? Dude, am I psychic? Whatever. I'm sorry.
He was an incel in this movie. He did not get Catwoman pussy. Batman's supposed
So
to be like...
Catwoman.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like a Casanova type guy, you know, Bruce Wayne. But in this one, he's like, he literally just sits in his house all day. And like, Alfred is like, you should really go out. And he's like, don't have time. And then he's just sitting there watching a video of Catwoman over and over again. This actually happens in the movie. He just keeps watching the video of her looking at herself in the mirror over and over again.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah,
it's
and
literally
that's
such a
real.
long movie, I forgot that even happened till just
Yeah,
now.
and Alfred's like, do you want to go to like this event? And he's like, no.
Alfred, bring me my lotion.
Master Wayne, we are all out of lotion. Bring me bat lotion. Master Wayne, we can get you regular lotion. We don't need to get you bat lotion. I need my bat lotion.
I like
It's
the bat
just-
logo.
What's so different about the bat lotion? It's bats crushed up into a lotion. Ew.
Bat guano?
No, just bat bodies. Just grinding.
Just bones and then fur as you're rubbing it on.
It's just him with one of those bowls in back, like grinding up a bat in a
Why do you
bowl.
have that in your room?
I'm making lotion.
Why? Is it ASMR time
I
now?
almost spit out my water. Why do you have that?
No, so I was gonna bring it up later because I wanted to see what it sounded like. But so I went to
Oh,
Colorado.
he was gonna
right?
do ASMR.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if people use this in the ASMR. I don't watch that
Are
stuff.
those bowls that you hit it? And then...
Yeah, no, not hit it. But so we went into a random shop with this adorable Nepalese woman. She's the nicest person, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. And they're singing bowls, so you do this thing on the outside, and it like eventually gets louder. But
I heard it for 1 second.
it gets so
and then
loud, I
like,
start bleeding out my ears. And like,
On our end, it was just what? And
Yeah,
then it just
like-
cut out. And
yeah.
then
you couldn't hear it.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, that's kind of cool though, because like the mic, it's just a continuous frequency, so it tries to like deafen it. That's kind of cool. You guys are like, it's not doing anything. I think
Yeah,
he's
it was like,
insane.
There's blood coming out of Daniel's eyes, and we're like,
Screen starts fizzing.
oh, we didn't hear anything. That was cool though. Thanks.
Screen cuts and cuts back. I have a shotgun in my mouth. Like, whoa, whoa,
Hey!
hey.
it's like the movie Unfriended or whatever. They start going crazy
That's such
or
a
whatever.
terrible movie. Have you seen that, Nick?
Yeah, we keep
It's so
bringing it
funny.
up.
That's because it reminds me of it every time we're on here with the screens.
I think we talked about this before too, because there's a dude that like just like does this and then it cuts and he's got his hand in a blender and you're supposed to be
Yes.
scared, but we're all laughing our heads off.
Yes.
It's so funny.
That's Daniel, like every
Have we
other
run out of
episode.
material? We're just taking bits and parts of other episodes.
Yes.
We take it all back from other things. We're like,
That's
"Hey,
basically
no way."
all my jokes. I just recycle
Lucky
it.
Slash.
Oh god.
Dude, no.
Enough. I'm leaving, I quit.
He can't keep getting away with this.
No, we're recent. We're talking about the Batman.
Yeah,
We're relevant.
that's right.
Start
Man.
bringing up the Hunger Games. You're like, that one's a new one, right?
Yeah, my friends were like, don't talk about recent events because it's going to age your podcast when people listen to it in like 5 years. And I'm like, I don't think I care.
I don't think anyone's watching this in
You
5
think I was gonna say no one's listening to it now, much less
Yeah.
in 5 years.
Exactly.
Episode 204, we have the same 4 listeners.
Thank you for your
I
support.
say, are we gonna have Tom Hanks in like 5 years listen back and be like, man, I don't like these guys. They're just talking about the Batman, that movie from 5 years ago. We're gonna be like, canceled by Tom Hanks.
5 years later, Lively still doesn't have an Instagram handle that's legible.
5 years from now, it's just like, yeah.
I know. I only promote like the podcast on Instagram. So
You just
like
post a picture.
I did
picture.
post a picture. I did because people were
Of
like,
yourself,
it's an
that's
ad.
like normal. You post one where there's rings under your eyes and you're under like in the basement or something. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, they don't pay me.
You posted a few of your old videos, and those do extremely well for a profile
like
with
5 likes.
80
Woo!
follow. No, have you seen them? She probably hasn't even checked since you went on there. They're like
No.
a couple thousand views, if not 6,000, I think. Like,
It's just me watching it over and over
look at her
again.
fucking face. Yeah, it's just her
Just
in bed.
looping.
Yeah.
She's just looping it while she's throwing up.
Yeah. Moral support.
You should post more. I mean, it's gonna be hard now because you don't feel good, but at some point you should.
I've got a bunch of videos just like logged in my phone that I'm like, I want to post this, and then people I know like from high school follow me, and then I'm like,
Block 'em.
I kind of just want them to see it. I unfollowed a
Be
bunch
anonymous.
of people. Yeah. I was like, well,
Kill
I
everyone in
figured
your
they
past
thought-
life so no one knows who you are now.
Yeah, I was like, I figured they thought I was weird enough in high school, so like if they're still following me now, they already know how I am, so.
I don't get notifications on TikTok because like it would be a flood of them if I did, but like
Oh, I'm so popular. I would get
That's
so
not
many
what I meant.
likes
Shut up,
all the
shut up.
time.
But it occasionally will give me a notification just randomly every like couple hours of like a comment, you know? And it, of course, one of these notifications was, look at this person that commented on your post. They're from my high school. And I'm like, why would you know to tell me that? So then I go look at the comment, obviously, and then I go to their profile. They're not following me. I'm like, all right, thanks. Why even bother commenting? I call them out.
Yeah, you should. Wow, no
I
following.
doxed him on my Instagram.
Hey Jordan,
same,
thanks for
baby.
commenting on my video, you fucking bitch, living at 213 Washington Lane. Suck a dick.
Get him. Get him.
Yeah, so that all
4
10 people in my
listeners. Yeah.
town will.
Get him. Everyone. No,
Oh, my word.
I checked my like views on Instagram the other day for I posted like a promo for the podcast, and I was like, oh, let's see if anybody watched it, and it was like most recently viewed was like my best friend's mom, and I was like, I did not know she followed me on Instagram, and it was
That's what
not
I'm saying,
appropriate.
dude. Personal Instagrams are the worst. It's just not where you want to be. No.
It was not appropriate. I was like, oh.
It's the promo about the foot jobs, right?
Yeah, it was.
That's appropriate. It's just a learning experience.
Mom's like very religious.
Do you see what she's talking about on that little podcast?
Yeah. That was, oh my gosh, when I worked at the
Job,
church.
you mean when you pray with your feet instead of your hands? No.
When I worked at the church, she actually set me and my friend aside and was like, Are you sure you are a good influence on the children? And I was like,
Wait, who said that?
my friend's mom.
Said to you?
Yeah.
Are you a good influence on the kids? What kids?
I said when I was working at the church, I worked with the kid. I was like a counselor for the kids. I was
Gotcha.
like
I thought you meant she came up to you like yesterday and was like, do you think you're being a good influence on the kids? And I was like, excuse me?
All children ever. Yeah. Your content, it's not very kid friendly.
Lively's going out to grocery stores and just cussing out children.
Beating them?
Yeah.
Just pissing on kids outside. No, I'm probably not being a good influence to the kids.
Nah. Welcome.
We wonder why she's so exhausted coming home from the dog park.
Yeah.
She's sicking her dogs on kids. Attack.
Dude, every time I send a meme that's like the one where it's like how to quiet a baby down and it's like suffocating a baby or whatever, or like wrestling a baby and breaking its neck, Daniel like saves those every single time. It's like those are the only thing he saves. And I'm like,
what are you talking about?
What is up with the baby slander, man?
What are you talking about? That you can't even track which ones I download because you upload 40 and then it'll be like Daniel downloaded one of them.
Yeah, no, it'll be like I'll send 40 and then it'll be like Daniel saved a picture right under the one where it's the baby being mutilated and he's and I'm like, I
because
see.
that's just the most recent one in your giant stack of shit.
Yeah, but if you save any of the others, it would say Daniel saved 40.
Yes, exactly.
I like dead babies. Okay, sue me,
There you go, exposed.
dude. Okay, have I talked about this yet? So this
You
so
killed a baby?
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, I'm waiting.
Yo, what?
I used to have 6 siblings. I only have 3 now. Didn't like 3 of them. You know, just take a little bit of, it's tiny. It's anyway.
Wait, you have 3 siblings?
I was trying to make that bit funny, and it just kept getting darker. So I'm gonna drop that now. Yeah. So what I was gonna say was, so TikTok algorithm, why it's so much better in terms of why everyone else is trying to catch up to it is because it promotes the videos to people in general who like it. There are
Like
obviously videos that go viral because people are making fun of them, but it's usually stuff like Uncut Gems or like things where it's like it's not really that bad. You know, people aren't usually getting canceled on TikTok videos. They don't like that kind of engagement. YouTube and Instagram and everyone else catching up is kind of on the old algorithm where it's like they just promote the video to whoever engages with it, right? Which includes people who hate it. I bring this up because
Old people.
because on TikTok videos do well, engagement's fine, everyone loves them. The YouTube Shorts one, because we talk about a lot of dark humor things, those have been doing really well on YouTube, but it gets the attention of people who are just really pissed off. And it's just funny because, I mean, the like-dislike ratio is usually so bad on our short videos because people are just fucking enraged. I should make a YouTube video at some point about all the videos that either I've gotten taken down or that people got really pissed about. But on both channels...
It has 5 views and just 5 dislikes on every single one.
No, but it'll be like 2/3 likes and like it'll be like 33% dislikes. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot. But it's like there was a video that I titled like white people shit, and it's the one where Lively and I are talking about like a nursery rhyme, and Nick's like, what the fuck is going on? People were getting fucking racist and sexist, and I mean it was bad in the comments. Everyone's pissed. They're like, white people have culture. How dare you say that about my Viking ancestors that raped everybody? I am here to make enemies.
I know. I'm like, oh no. It's It's okay. Daniel's white, so he can make fun of white people.
Oh,
They
people
can't
get
say
so
anything.
offended when I was like, clearly we're joking, right? But I mean, it's like, oh my word, people get fucking pissed. There was one, oh my gosh, this was so funny. I forget what we were talking about Seattle's needle distribution centers. Do you remember that? This whole episode is a nostalgia. Anyway,
Yeah, I know, right?
The throwback episode.
so I posted
Yes,
that
we
short.
distribute the needles at the Space Needle, in case you didn't know.
Oh, thanks. So you're saying I can jump to the top of the Space Needle and just impale myself with it, and that'll be clean?
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyway. So I posted that video, and like 3 of the comments were like, "You guys are just bad people."
Bad people. Thank you.
It's so funny because very clear. I don't know. I just think that stuff is funny. You know, YouTube Shorts is still trying to get the hang of who they send out videos to, but right now we're just getting all the pissy white 8-year-olds. It's great, dude. It's fucking great.
Where's PewDiePie? Talk about PewDiePie.
It's working though. We're getting. I mean, like it's usually like 1,000 views per video for the podcast shorts. So
On YouTube? That's
guess we need to be more dark,
more dark.
even more dark if that's even
Relaxed
So
possible.
this Mexican.
That's why I almost took that video down. People were being racist in that video specifically because of Nick. I was like, wow, just because that's good. You know, that's nice.
They're like, he's making fun of white people.
Yeah, considering I was the one that said it, well, it's just like I was the one that even said it in the video, and they were still going after Nick. And I was like, man, the world is just kind of disgusting, isn't it?
I don't like when people make the white culture argument. I don't understand how you can say white culture. I'm like, ooh, that
Well,
sounds...
just like, why do you care that much? So what? Another person on the internet is joking they don't have culture. So fucking what?
So what?
Sorry your dick's so short you can't fucking take it. I don't know what to tell you. Goodness gracious. They're shaking their fucking high school history books and be like, look. The South had a history and this is... Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, I'm an adult.
Culture.
Clearly I know. It's not like we just appeared. But I mean, maybe don't defend white culture. Maybe just let it slide. I don't know.
What is Southern culture? Explain.
what?
Southern culture. Explain that to me.
I don't know. Don't get started on this, man. We only have so many fans to begin with. We're not just-
All right, what's
Let's call out everybody in the U.S.
yeah?
U.S. culture is saying "op" all the time.
That's it.
Daniel, can you confirm this?
I didn't
Are
hear
you
what
an
you
"op"
said.
person? You just
Am
say
I a what
"op" all the
person?
time. "Op."
Oh, well, I like. It's kind of weird because, like, yeah, I said that and like, oof, before like that became like a thing people typed all
For
the
the
time.
Roblox. Ooh.
Yeah, but like people like very much enunciated now. We're like "ope" or like "oof," and I'm like, no.
No, it's
Just say
natural
"oof."
for me.
Like, yeah, it's I don't know. So yeah, I also say I say pop.
I'm more of a sheesh person.
That's what was it? This is my white culture. Are you a sheesh person or an oof person?
I'm personally more of a golly person.
Oh
but
my
that's just
gosh.
me. Daniel,
That
to this
sounds-
day, you're the only person I've met that says golly, just as a
Still, really?
word. Yeah,
Ah,
I've never
feel
seen that ever.
self-conscious about it.
The
Golly.
first, no. Don't feel bad. It's just like
Overturn my desk. Golly gee.
Sometimes he's like, goodness gracious. And I'm like,
oh my word.
yeah. He says them
Well,
all.
any variations of ones that have to do with the Lord's name will just those will be golly and G and stuff. But then I'll just change really quick to like, oh, fucking bitch, bastard, cunt. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Whoa.
Jesus,
Hey,
Mary and Joseph.
Have you seen there's a trend on TikTok right now from some podcast where someone's like, I do cuss a little. Like, really? What's your favorite word? She's like, probably fuck. And like everyone, I about made a video on it and someone else already made one, but they did it really well. It was him reenacting it. And he's like, do you have a special cuss word? And he's like, yeah, I guess it's cunt. And he's like, huh, what?
And everyone's like,
He's like, I said fucking cunt.
it's so strange to me,
funny.
like, how that word is so... It makes people so uncomfortable, like, in the U.S., but then, like, UK people just throw it around like
Or
nothing.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia. That's why I guess it's more normal to me because, like, weirdly enough, I have enough like Australian friends that like I hear it all the time. Like, if I heard it in public, I wouldn't like blink. But I mean, yeah,
It's almost like
it is a thing.
It, like, interchangeable with dude, like, for them
Yeah.
sometimes, I swear, and I'm like, oh my god, like, at first it really caught me off guard when I started interacting with more people on the internet, and I was like, what? And then you realize that they're, like, British, and you're like, oh, I guess that's
Yeah.
okay then.
It's just funny, like, and or like being on like group chats with them because like you'll get to hear them like casually use it throughout the house. It's so funny.
Yep.
It's like, look, I
Boy.
forget who I was talking to, and they were looking at someone passing out their window, and they were like, "He's a funny looking cunt, ain't he?" Like,
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm like, oh.
it's funny. It's funny. But
One
yeah.
minute.
Now we return to the part of the podcast where we make fun of British people.
I know, every week.
They're not real.
Yeah. I know they turn the accents off when we're not around. I know it.
Dude, it's one big bit.
Yeah, it's all for show.
Some people have gotten like I love accents in general, and British accents are obviously great. But like I'm like it'll come up occasionally, and people get like offended that we like their accents. I'm like, oh, sorry, I guess. Never mind. You sound like shit.
Yeah, your voice.
Your voice, I hate it. It grates on my nerves. That's the end of today's podcast.
At the end.
All right, well, see ya.
Bye.
Anyway, bye. Gonna go back to watching the Oscars and.
Oh yeah, you were watching the Oscars.
Yeah,
all-
I hope you guys know how much I love you. I'm giving up the Oscars tonight to be here. I know.
Daniel, the movie guy, is giving up the movie award show.
I watched some of it before I came over here. It's already bad. It's already just. Ugh. Maybe I missed
bad.
something. We'll find out, I guess, when I get canceled next week. But like right when I turned it
missed
on,
something about it being
maybe
funny?
I did. Well, I turned it on. Right as I turned it on, it's Regina Hall. She's great. I like her. She's one of the 3 hosts or some stupid
There's
shit. I
3
don't know why.
hosts of the Oscars.
3 hosts.
Ellen
We don't
wasn't
even need-
available.
Yeah,
I know no one else
Ellen
has
was
watched the.
canceled.
Oh yeah.
Ellen comes up.
Jordan.
Ellen comes up with like someone with a clipboard like at her side, and they go up to the mic, and then she just punches him right in the fucking
Yep.
face, and everyone starts laughing. You're like, am I in a simulation?
Everyone cheers.
I like this.
She starts kicking him in the nuts. Yeah, laugh.
Live, laugh, love.
Everyone's like,
And then they start
And then she starts
dancing.
dancing. Yeah, Ellen just boogieing down after.
I was the voice of Dory. Bow to me.
Yeah, they're playing the walking off music, and she starts just boogieing down. They're like, Ellen, get off the stage, and she's like, no, and Fortnite dance.
The camera never cuts to commercial. It's just that keeps playing that song while she's doing that. Everyone's watching like, are we ever gonna cut now? And she's like,
They've been
no.
clapping for like 7 minutes, and they're like,
She's like, I've got the cameraman and his family hostage. We are never cutting off of my fucking face. We're trying to get on stage to go get it. There's like a force field. They just get like blown back. Oh no.
Oh my
Jeez.
god. Now he's breaking stuff.
Good golly gee.
there it is.
Hello.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness. No, it was already not looking good. So anyway, Regina
All right, who won?
Hall.
Who won the Oscars?
Well, first of all, they did like 30 before the thing even started, which
What?
pissed a lot of people off anyway because they were basically like, yeah, these don't matter. And they were like,
Wow, that's gonna hurt people's feelings.
Well, that's the thing it's dumb because it's like we're trying to save time, but really it's like they don't want to pay for the extra half hour. But then they fill up the show with all of the host bullshit that no one cares about but them.
The small talk, like fake scripted small talk, and
The
Bad
only host of these award shows that I'll watch is oh fucking damn it, what's his name? Who's the guy that did the British version of The Office?
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais. I'll watch the Ricky Gervais award shows. I won't watch
He
any of the
literally
other
called
ones.
it right when
I
he was
know.
like,
He's
The
he's
one
perfect.
guy.
The one guy. Anyone else, like Jimmy Kimmel did one year, and it was, but like anyway.
Did
So-
Jimmy Kimmel do anything good?
No, dude. I tried to watch his thing once because I was like, everyone loves him, right? And there was a video on YouTube
do.
trending. I was like, I'll see what it's
who
about.
loves Jimmy Kimmel?
Dude, he's abysmal. He's such abysmal talking. I'm never gonna be on that show anyway. But if I had the opportunity to, I wouldn't go. For other reasons as well. But I mean, goodness, this guy was just trying to tell. They only have 2 minutes to tell a story anyway on his show, right? So they're talking. He'll cut in with like, yeah, that is quite relatable, don't you think? And I'm like, just kill me. It's so awkward and cringy. My
Funny.
gosh. Anyway, I keep deviating from the actual. So anyway, I know no one watches the Oscars but me. But last year, or maybe the last 2 years, there was no hosts. and it was actually really, really good. I wish they never had hosts. It worked out really well.
It was
because
good
they basically
because no hosts.
Yeah, and they used the time to like promote other of the movies in there. They did live songs of the songs that were nominated and performances. It was really good. And we're back to host now, 3 of them. So I turn on TV. Regina Hall is talking, and it right when I turned it on, it couldn't be perfect. It was just her saying the sentence like, "There's a guy from Euphoria apparently that was there," and she says his name, and he's like, "You're legal now," or I mean, "Here now," and I'm like, "Oh, if we're starting off with." That's kind of gross. And then she's like, if you come backstage, I'm going to put my tongue down your throat. I was like,
this is how it's starting.
Oh, she said that. Open. I'm pretty sure she said that almost word for word. And I was like, because the bit,
like,
I guess.
I want to fuck that 18-year-old.
Well, the bit was that like, she was doing COVID tests on like bachelors and stuff, but she was like really fucking horny up there. I'm like, man, someone needs to get her off and
she's
calm
ripping
her down.
her top off. Like.
Holy shit. Well, and again, people are like, well, if a guy did it, people are fine. I'm like, I'm not fine if it's anybody joking about, oh, you're legal now. Can I fuck you backstage? It just feels uncomfortable. And then right after that bit, I think I turned away to text someone for a second. I look back, and I don't think
naked.
It was actually. She's get up here.
Posing, straight naked.
I turned back. She's just fucking him on stage. She's just riding him on stage.
Oh my god, it's COVID what? Protocol.
The nominees for this year's sound design are...
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Why was it sound
design?
Because it never has anything to do with it. They always invite like random people to do the intros.
They announced 30, but the sound design one is the one that's a priority.
This year's documentary best short are...
She just bent over.
All of the boring awards, it just cuts to her just fucking somebody on stage.
She's like, you guys don't need to clap, I got it. And then it's like...
Aww.
Yeah.
Just like...
Yeah.
Is that a slow clap? No. No, it's not. Anyway, right after that bit, I don't think it was planned, but she was frisking 2 other people. I think it was Josh Brolin and Jason Momoa, but like pretty much grabbing their balls. I mean, it wasn't like a regular... She was in there.
Was it a regular frisk?
I don't think it was planned. I hope to God it was planned. I hope they agreed to that, because if it was non-consensual, holy shit, that's just disgusting. And I'm sitting, everyone's laughing. And I'm just sitting there like, we are in a simulation. I don't care who's hosting, guy, girl. It's not. I don't give a shit. Don't touch me. Just, it's so uncomfortable. I can't imagine if she started doing that to someone that didn't like agree to that beforehand. Dude, it was so awkward to watch. Even if it was consensual, it just sends a really bad message, I thought. I don't know. And then I turned it off and came on here, so... That's all I got to see at the Oscars, was a bunch of people being horny on stage, you know?
Sounds really good. All right, Daniel, time for your Oscar predictions right now, if you haven't seen it then.
The only one that I looked at was for Best Picture, and I have no idea what it's going to be.
Oh, you cheated.
And I don't care who wins. The only thing I don't want to win is Don't Look Up. I like Don't Look Up. It should not win for Best Picture, though. That's all I
Was it nominated for anything else? Was it
a lot of other stuff? Yeah, like it wasn't that good of a movie.
I didn't think it was like an Oscar movie.
It's not, and it is.
It's a goofy comedy.
I mean, I think it's just because it's all rigged anyway. But I mean, yeah.
It's because of the actors who were in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like every actor was in that movie, and people were like, "It's such a big commentary on blah blah blah." I'm like, I mean, it was kind of a comedy.
Big commentary. It's like stuff that you should already have noticed by now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. It was a fine movie. It's really weird that's nominated for all these Oscars. Like especially like the editing of a movie has to be so bad for me to like, or for people in general to like take notice of it. You know, the editing was bad in that movie. It was just not good staging. Like even like elemental things that people use on TikTok, where someone's having a conversation, you put one person on one side of the camera and the other person on the other side. You know, and you cut back and forth. They didn't do that in the movie. There were 2 whole scenes where they were having conversations and they were cutting back and forth to people on the same side of the screen. And I was like, what are you doing?
No one's mouth is moving and it's like, who's talking?
The sound is off.
Yeah.
Like, the world is ending.
Give me an Oscar.
And everyone's like, we've given them every Oscar nomination. I know that people are going to be pissy because I did see, the one award I did get to see was Best Visual Effects, and they did nominate No Way Home on that one, but obviously it didn't win. It was Dune, which Dune looked absolutely fucking gorgeous, so that makes sense. But
I didn't see Dune.
you're going to have a bunch of Marvel people like...
Timothy Chalamet.
What was that?
Shabla what?
Timothy Chalamet.
Stop saying it!
I can't hear what you're saying.
You've never heard that?
Never heard what?
You've
She's
never
saying
heard
a
that?
slur at the end.
No! Why
You are!
Why are you...
Lively, goodness.
Oh my god, you've never seen that video where the guy was like, all men suck except me and Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, no, I've not seen that video.
I'm not saying a slur.
Is that guy saying a slur?
He goes on his profile, he's canceled.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was funny.
I just...
Funny.
I always can't wait for all the memes tomorrow. Like, the only one I saw that had potential today was somebody was presenting something for Dune, and it cut to a really close-up of Timothy Chalamet going, but, like, no sound was coming out of his hands. It was just...
Little clap.
Little clapping, and I was like, that's adorable.
I just watched The French Dispatch last night. He was in that movie with a very wispy mustache.
Willem Dafoe and Timothy Chalamet were in every fucking movie this year. It's insane. I'm not even joking. Every movie I've seen this year has them in it.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I don't get the Timothy Chalamet. I can't even say.
Are you
his
trying to
name
say it
now.
wrong?
Timothy Champagne.
Yeah, how do you say his name?
Timothy Chalamet.
Charlemagne the God. Yeah.
Charlemagne the God.
She keeps replacing his last name with slurs. We're like, Lively, stop.
Oh my god, no. No,
you know, Timothy. Whoa. What? That's his last name? Stop.
I swear that's how you pronounce it. I don't get the hype for him. He's like
The jawline.
It's the jawline, that's what it is. He's like a man boy.
Well, he hasn't like
Now you're saying slurs. What the fuck?
Oh, that was a good catch. Good catch. Wow, that was quick. Quick on the draw there, girl. Good at recognizing slurs. Congrats.
Thank you.
What is this podcast?
Lively scream crying the words "thank you." Oh, yeah, we probably are bad people. Honestly.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't get it. He looks like a man boy. I do know when he's like
as compared to what should he look like?
I don't know. He looks
a man.
What should boy
he
men
look
be
like a man. No, I don't know. There's like suddenly there's like a really big girls like soft looking boys now. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I thought I sent you a video, Lively, because someone duetted a video. Someone was like,
Daniel's
"Here's a bunch of unconventional men." Well, someone was like, "Here's a bunch of unconventional people that are attractive," and the guy duetting is like, "All right, let's go." And it's like Adam Driver and a bunch of like actually attractive people. And he's like, "Oh, they're just people with big noses." Okay.
That's true. That's one thing that my favorite people have in common. It's like Lady Gaga and Adam Driver have like big noses, and I'm like, yeah.
Did you send me the video of you sent us the video of the boob job one where the guy's like,
yeah,
Lady Gaga's are real, and if you go to her documentary on Netflix, you'll get to see him, and then
yeah,
the Netflix sound.
Yeah, she was topless in that movie.
Was it? Yeah, did you see it? I assume.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Good.
That wasn't what I watched it for. Like it wasn't.
Oh come on, yeah. I watched it for the education.
She's just like having a
I
conversation.
wanted to learn about Lady Gaga. Yeah, okay. What's next? You want to learn about Lord Goo Goo? Grow
Lord
up.
Goo Goo.
That's a
No. Stop. There's yeah, that's offensive to babies.
That's what I was gonna say, baby slurs.
Yeah.
Baby slurs.
Get your Lord Goo Goo away from me.
Oh, can we predict baby slurs? That's gonna be the next thing. Oh man, people are gonna get pissed at people insulting their babies.
Oh my
Baby
god.
slurs.
I predict this. What would baby slurs be? I'm at what is it? Goo goo? That'd be one.
Mush eater.
That's a good one.
Shitbox.
Well,
Puntable human.
Oh, you said puntable? They said
I
huntable.
thought you said cunt.
Oh, as if puntable's any better.
Yeah.
You guys are like, oh, I thought you meant like gonna hunt them with a gun and shoot them. You just meant kick them. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Both will
No,
kill them.
You gotta use them as target practice. Like, what are those things where they shoot the discs and then they shoot them with the guns? But
Like
you throw-
pigeons.
You just grab
throw
a baby
babies.
by
Yeah,
the legs. And
you
shove
throw it. Yeah, you throw it up in the air and it's like.
We are bad people. I've realized this now. I'm gonna post this to
Yeah.
YouTube just with no context. People are like, wow, they just really want babies to die. Fuck.
You don't practice shooting on babies.
Golly. And that's the end of the
No.
Yeah.
No, Lady Gaga was just having a casual conversation with her friends, and then like the camera cuts to her, and she's straight up just topless, and I'm like, oh, and I was like, all right,
So there wasn't any context to it. It was just random.
yeah, it was just random. It was like a
Good choice of editing.
yeah, a full scene where she's just topless. I think she was sunbathing.
There's a guy just sitting at his computer sweating. He's got the full edited documentary of Lady Gaga and no good place to put her tits. He's like, where am I gonna put her boobies?
Where do the boobies go?
There's like violin music in the background. Just sitting there like, where do I put them?
Some drop of sweat's coming down.
He's like,
Got an idea? It just shows like him just dropping, cutting and dropping it, putting it right in the middle.
We're talking about her tattoos.
She's talking about like her past life trauma. She's like, yeah, and then my father passed away. Boobs.
boob. Yeah,
Booba.
I think there were multiple parts where she was topless.
Multiple boobs?
Actually. Yeah.
She has multiple.
She had more than one.
I'm not funny.
Awooga.
Dude, that'll always be funny. I don't care how old I am.
It'll be funny when Nick does it. Yeah. Stop. It's funny.
It's funny. I make silly face.
Dude, Nick, half the shit we put in our group chat this week, I was crying laughing on. What was the thing we were talking about the other day?
When you sent the white people, and then Nick was like, why is there like a flag the size of like the Empire State Building in the background?
You were like, why is there a 60-foot flag in the background? And it was just like someone else I was videoing on my computer, and I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
I was like, dude, how do you not notice? He's like this big and then the flag's massive.
Daniel's a drug doer now as well.
Stop.
If you guys want an update on what's been happening, Daniel
Oh, boy.
has fallen off the wagon.
You do realize he edits this, so none of this is gonna be there.
I'll talk about it. I'll cut out maybe if you...
I'll talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So I went to Colorado.
All right.
couple
I'll
weeks
admit
ago.
it. I'm a drug doer now.
I'll admit it. I do heroin now. There's a needle hanging out of my arm right now, just bobbing up and down as I'm talking. So anyway, when we went here...
Heroin, weed isn't a gateway drug to heroin.
Dude, I mean, they could discover heroin that would make you immortal. I still wouldn't use it because it's veins and needles
Spooky.
and arms and shit. Do you know how much fucking not that I respect
You know how much
users.
heroin I would do if I wasn't scared of needles?
You know how much heroin I would do if it was a pill.
Delicious.
How much heroin I would do if it were a face cream. I use that shit twice daily. Oh, the dog was like laughing at my joke.
Yeah.
Ah!
But it was like
Who's laughing?
it was only twice. It was like thanks, dog. Every video she sends of her dog is in the most muscular position ever, to the point where I'm uncomfortable.
That's just like his resting
dog's like-
position is like flexing.
She's like,
Yes.
my dog is chewing up this thing, and he's like,
He threw up again today.
he's got a heroin needle sticking out of his arm.
Yummy.
Yum,
This is
yum.
my fuel.
He just sucks it out of the needle like a fucking guinea pig.
Oh my god.
Like a Capri Sun.
Yeah. Oh no.
Heroin son. I was trying to think of a better pun for that, but I don't think there is one.
Just put heroin in it.
Just put heroin.
That's the tagline to the Capri Sun. Capri Sun. It's heroin now.
It's heroin for children.
It's like, man, Capri Sun used to be $12 a pack. Now it's $200.
Oh, I wish I had enough resources to make this an actual like skit that looked like a commercial. It'd be so funny. Capri
I
Sun.
could Photoshop the thing for you.
Capri Sun. You can overdose now.
Woo! That would be That'd be the way to go, though. You die happy. You're just chilling.
It's just people with those deflated Capri Sun packages and the straw sticking out of their arm.
No, their body
awful.
is deflated, like the Capri Sun.
They just got a giant straw out their mouth. Sorry, that was too far.
Yeah, that was where we crossed the line. I missed the respect the pouch commercials. Remember how weird those were?
Like blow it up and they step on it and
they
someone
step
like
on it,
explodes.
and then the person explodes and stuff, and I'm like,
What?
I'm just trying to watch
Oh yeah. Daniel didn't see this because he didn't watch like any normal.
didn't
We
watch,
didn't
like,
have a
Disney
TV.
Channel
That's
or-
my. We had great culture, okay? I didn't need to watch Capri Sun
3,
commercials.
2, 1, penguins.
There's
Every
nothing
episode.
wrong with learning about sharing from 5 penguins in space.
Every episode. In space. Why in space? Are they in
Isn't it
space
kinda
every
weird, though?
episode?
Have we? Yeah, I mean,
Oh, why you say yeah like I should know?
You're not good up with the 3, 2, 1 penguins, Lord.
Oh, God.
you don't know that the penguins are in space.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Who did I just sound? That was Muscle. What's the Muscle Dude? Muscle
Muscle
Man?
Man.
Yeah,
What's the
okay.
muscle dude? What's the man with the muscle?
You know what else?
What were you gonna
Why-
say? You were gonna say something.
You know, well, I don't know if we've talked about this, but isn't it kind of weird that like people that make those shows are like, I don't think we can keep kids' attention by telling them not to murder people and other such Christian rules. We need to base it around some inanimate object that's alive in some random location. Vegetables alive on your counter, penguins alive in space, cartoons alive. I mean, it's just like,
Cartoons alive.
it's just funny the vehicle that they, because it's just. This is why my parents didn't even like some of those, because it was like, it would be 30 minutes of the goofiest, dumbest shit you've ever seen. Pretty much a SpongeBob episode. And the
But
last
at
2
the
minutes
end-
is like, so what have we learned? We've learned not to share and not to covet your neighbor's oxen. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
How did we
Great.
learn that from Larry Boy, the cucumber with plungers out his ears?
Yes.
That's the next Batman sequel. Larry Boy.
Larry Boy.
Before
I'd
Batman
watch-
was cool, we had Larry Boy.
It's not the Joker at the end. It's hilarious.
It's funny to me that I have to anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows VeggieTales, right? Larry, the main cast member, puts on a helmet that has 2 plungers that stick out the side of his head, and he calls himself Larry Boy, and he's a superhero.
That is his alter ego, yes.
And you wonder why it turned out the way I did.
VeggieTales, VeggieTales. They played that at my my middle school orchestra. Played that song.
Oh.
They were like,
Like in band, like in school.
yeah.
Oh, my
they
word,
did.
that's
They
so
did the
funny.
VeggieTales. Yeah,
Considering what I know of your school, that makes it equally hilarious.
yeah. I was like, I wish the band did it because they needed the tuba, but they didn't. They had the orchestra do it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. All I got on that.
That was a good story, dude.
Yeah.
Why
thank
were we
you.
talking about VeggieTales? How did we get here again?
What you watched as a child because you didn't.
Oh,
watch
you were talking
what
about
anyone
Capri
else
Sun
did.
commercials. Explain to me this commercial.
Oh, respect the pouch.
Yeah.
Basically, when you finish a Capri Sun, it was a common habit amongst kids to blow them back up and then just step on them, so it goes.
They weren't
But-
that airtight, were they? Wouldn't it just...
Well, you blow it up with air. Yeah, I don't know. It was dumb, but kids would
I
do
know
it.
you mean blow it up with air.
I used
blow
to
it up
do
with
it.
what else? Shit? Yes?
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
So they had a commercial campaign where it's
I'm
like,
just sitting here like sweating. I'm like, you mean people didn't fill the Capri Suns back up with piss and then step on them and hear them go...
did it put the straw in their urethra and fill it up with piss? Did they make a Capri Sun catheter?
You mean the people didn't put the straw in their penis and suck out the piss?
They suck out the kidney stones. That's how they do it. Why are
Anyway,
you saying you? You're the one who's putting it in the penis.
You're right.
You're right.
I'm a terrible...
this is relaxed comedy.
I used
Oh,
to
man.
drink like adult Capri
Piss?
Suns at school.
Oh.
No.
Like, I used to drink that, actually.
Plain! It's good for you.
No, I used to bring these like giant Capri Sun things to school every day. Like they were like a foot tall, and it wasn't alcoholic, so I guess not adult. But I would drink it, and I was like, yeah, this is the grown-up version. And everybody thought that giant Capri Suns were so sick, and I haven't seen them since like 2014.
Where'd you buy these from?
I don't know. My dad just got them one day, but they were great.
This is the apricot story again, all over again.
Yeah, literally. Lively's like, I don't think they ever sold any. I never saw any ever again.
I don't know where. I've just
I
found
don't
them
think those
one day.
were sold by the actual company. I think you were getting a street Capri Sun.
Maybe I don't
Street
know. My
Sun.
dad. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Sketch
All right.
idea.
Sketch idea. All right.
No, I already have 30 drafts on my TikTok. Like
Just post them.
Just post them all. I'm telling
I'm
you,
trying.
you gotta shit post all at once.
they're not good. There's a reason they're drafts because I'd like them for a day. The next day I'm like, no, this is stupid. But I don't have the heart to delete it.
Whenever I make a bad video and I know it's bad, and I'm still like, I'm gonna make it anyways, I just post like multiple at once, and then I'm like, there you go. People will ignore it with this slightly better one.
That's a good way to, I can't speak. It's a good thing to apply to the rest of life. I was gonna do something bad, and then I just did 5 other bad things at once to make up for
Yeah.
it.
That's
I was
always
gonna
what
kill
I
that
do.
guy, but then I decided to kill his whole family because,
If you're gonna kill
Might as
one, might as
well.
well kill them all. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say no witnesses. It makes sense.
You don't want them
Witnesses.
suffering.
kick the
Shut
baby
the
down the
dog.
stairs, the whole shebang.
Last night, my friend's like, yeah, whenever I step on a snail, it makes me feel bad. I immediately step on it again as hard as I can, and I'm like, and then they're like, to put it out of its misery, and I'm like,
Oh.
What if it's
I
still
know.
gonna die and it's like?
I know, right? I'm like, and they're like, they were, and then what they compared it to was, if your dog got hit by a car, you would want to have.
You would hit it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Go in
What?
reverse.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. They're like, if I ran over my dog, I would take it to the
Okay,
vet and
it's
have
flat.
it put down. Yeah.
Can you imagine watching this? Someone hitting their own dog, jumping out of the car, being, and they're taking a hammer, just.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Daniel.
Oh, I was saying that's what her story was. That like after you
He's
hit it
still
once, to
going.
just do it harder again. Like it's dark. Goodness.
Yeah, you wanna
We're
talk
no-
about this?
you just have to get off
Do you
your
have these
chest.
feelings often?
If your friends have expressed these feelings, because that's a little worrisome. I'm a little worried. You know when you hit your dog and you have to hit it again to make sure it's
Yeah, I was
no,
like-
no, I don't.
I was like, no.
No, I don't know that actually. In fact, I can't quite recall a time where I've hit my dog and then shot it to make sure it was definitely dead. Interesting. The end. We've had approximately 5 awkward pauses in this episode alone.
Sorry.
That's a good sign. Lively apologizes. Yeah, it is your fault. Gosh, idiot.
Just watch the Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that wouldn't have awkward pauses in it at all.
Nope.
Oh man, it's amazing to me we kind of still do the whole Oscar thing. I don't know. We're not going to talk about the Oscars again. We're done with that. So, I've never been drunk before.
Okay.
I've tried a couple times, and if I haven't mentioned this before, what I found out,
Alcohol
well, like occasionally.
outside of church.
You don't get drunk in church?
You
You don't just get absolutely smashed on Sunday mornings?
You get the thing, you're just chugging it.
You know, like the priests do that after, like with the communion wine, they just chug everything.
And then they
that's left.
slam it down, they go, woo!
Yeah.
They slam it down and they go, fuck yeah!
Yeah. I guess it's like offensive to leave the holy
Yeah, I wonder who made that
blood
up.
of Christ.
God.
Yeah,
It's offensive to leave that alcohol. You better drink it all and get fucking
Yeah.
hammered.
yeah.
I'm sure he said that in between the stuff about, not
he
lying,
did.
murdering. Yeah, I think the priests made that up. Is this turned into the Rag on Catholics hour? I've got so much material for this.
You've been waiting.
Pulls out a notebook.
Oh, we're talking about Catholics now? Oh, good stuff. We used to play Settlers of Catan in college, and one of our roommates was Catholic, and we called it Cattlers of Satan, like if you swap the C and the S. And he would very seriously, every time we said that, been like, no, stop, guys, don't do that.
That's like my family. They're like, they don't mess with any of
No.
saying those jokes. They don't like the Ouija board stuff.
No,
they don't
yeah,
even
they don't
like
do
people
that.
talking about it.
Anyway, that's the end of today's episode.
I keep thinking Daniel's gonna talk, and then he's like, And I'm like, oh, he just wants to make an awkward pause. Okay.
No, I don't want to make an awkward pause. I hate awkward pauses. If you can't tell, I hate awkward pauses so much. I'll just continue saying dumb shit in the middle just to keep it from being completely quiet.
Drugs.
We got 22 minutes. Come on.
What about 22 minutes?
I got 22 minutes. Come on.
Oh, until you have to go?
Yeah.
How else was your trip, Daniel? How was the ER on your trip?
Oh, yeah. So.
Was it a nicer ER than the one you live by?
Oh, way nicer. So much nicer. In fact, if I have to go to the ER again when I'm in St. Louis, I'll fly to Colorado, go to their ER, because that actually would take less time. I'm not even joking. It would take me less time to fly there. It's
terrible.
And get in that one, because I've waited 13 hours in the other one before. St. Louis ER, this particular one, sucks absolute dick. And I had someone call me on the phone once. Twice, actually, and they were like, oh, they were like, they did like a resident satisfaction survey. Yeah. They were like, how was your last stay at the ER? And I told her, not angrily, but I told her to her face, I was like, look, if I'm dying again, if I was dying, I would rather die in the street than in your ER, because I would be found quicker in the street than I would be in your ER. And there was a 5-second pause, and she's like, thank you. Oh. She didn't quite know how to respond to that. It's a terrible ER. Fuck that place. Fuck SMS Health. Fuck you.
Oh, wow. Name dropping.
Fuck you.
Other people start beef with, like, other people.
We start beef with ERs.
With emergency
The problem is, it's like a restaurant or anything else, right? It's like the people that work there. It's not their fault. It's not the nurses and the doctors. Like, those people are fucking troopers, right? It's the people that actually run, the ER and organize it and determine who's actually there, right?
Administrative people,
Yeah. Same as like restaurants. If it's slow, it's because somebody up top didn't want to pay the money to hire the extra chef or whatever, and the waitresses and cooks are just going as fast as they can, So it's like, there's not much you can do about it while you're there, but anyway. But yeah, I went to the Colorado ER because I have continuing inner ear problems.
Bleeding out the ear.
Yep. I did bleed out the ear once, I think. Did I?
Oh.
Anyway, so I couldn't stop throwing up, and it lasted long enough. I just knew I was extremely dehydrated, so I didn't necessarily go to the ER because, I thought I was going to die, but I went because I needed fluids, and I didn't want to pass out in my aunt's house. So I was super close to passing out so many times, but, they just, bless Micah and Sydney that they were there, but they, Micah, picked me up, walked me out to the car, and then we went to the ER, and pretty much instantaneously went into the actual room, which was incredible because again that cuts off 7 hours from the last time I've been in an ER. This is my 4th time in the ER in the past 6 or 8 months. So
I know I'll randomly just get a Snapchat and it's Daniel on a slab, and I'm like, huh?
I felt bad because after I got out of the ER the next day, I sent you guys a picture from the oxygen
I know,
bar.
I thought you were back in
I'm sorry.
I really thought you were back in the ER.
And I was like, again?
I thought you guys knew what oxygen bars were, but for anyone who doesn't know...
I know, but I just saw the nose thing and showed the contraption, so I'm like, oh, he's on... he can't breathe. They have him on oxygen, and they're just wheeling him into the thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh my god, it got worse.
Oxygen bars are
in public.
They're the biggest waste of money ever, right? But they basically...
I don't even know what they are.
So oxygen bars is exactly what it sounds like. You go to a bar where they have different flavors of air, and they hook you up to a fucking hose with the little oxygen thing like you would if you were in the ER or if you're 70. Right, and you just smell it for however much you pay, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, and it slightly smells like leaf or some bullshit. It's just...
leaf scent?
Literally, we looked, they had the whole menu. This woman that ran this place believed in this shit. She believed in it so much, I don't think she's brushed her teeth in 20 years.
Alright.
So she has a whole menu of this shit, right, and 30 different flavors of this bullshit, and all
Wouldn't it be scents?
What do you mean?
Is it like so?
You're not tasting oxygen; you're breathing it in. So.
Well, I've been saying flavors, but yeah, I'm not I'm not digging my tongue into the oxygen.
Are they supposed to have
Scents.
beneficial properties, or is it just to smell it?
But half of them are people that know it's a scam and run it anyway, and half the people are just full on believers. This woman was definitely a believer because she was talking us through the menu, and we're like, "What's an inspiration?" She's like, "Oh, inspiration will inspire you, right? It's crazy." And we're like, And then she plugged it in.
Lady.
Yeah, thank you.
Did
and
it
she
make
plugged
you trip
it in.
balls?
She was high off her ass, dude. It was kind of funny.
And you
Because-
bought oxygen off?
Oxygen. Yeah.
Oxygen. We
She
bought
was-
Oxy.
Yeah. She was literally just drugging you. You guys passed out, and when you
We
woke
got
up,
prescription
you were just convicted.
painkillers. I'm just blinking and spaz out.
You actually lost like 3 days. Like you were passed out for 3 days, and you wake up just hooked up again. Like no time had passed, and you're like, that sucked.
Yeah. So anyway, we
Wow,
bought.
I missed my flight.
I wake up. I look down. I have a beard. I'm like, wow, I'm 27.
Yeah. You have like your appendix removed, like kidney.
They like took my
One
like my
lung.
organs
Yeah.
out for like the black
Yeah.
market and sold them.
Yeah.
There's just like a little circle on my heart, like next week.
Oh god.
Oh my word! Literally, it could have been for all I know. Yeah, but I mean, it didn't even. You can make stuff easily have scents. That's like the cheapest thing you can do, right? Is have a scented
can have
whatever
oil.
candle, a sticker, things, right? It doesn't smell like anything because it's fucking air, right? So you can
so it
you
didn't
can
actually even smell that strong.
no, and that's the way they all are. It's a huge scam. They don't smell like anything. It's just I shit you not. It
Calling
smells.
it a scam, but you bought it.
We bought it because like I didn't want to, but it was like they hadn't been to Colorado before, so it's like a thing to do once. But I mean, we walked out.
It's a thing to do in Colorado.
You don't understand how big a deal oxygen bars have gotten in Colorado, right? People do
I
them.
don't.
Dude, it's a big business. I wish I was in on it. I would rake in that fucking money. It was $20 for that bullshit. $20 fucking dollars to get a light whiff of dirt blown across my fucking nose.
She farts.
Yeah, it's literally. She probably had the hose in her ass on the other side of the wall, just farting into it, and we're like, "Oh, I can smell the potpourri" and some bullshit.
Oh my god.
My goodness, I think she made those scents out back in jars. She just kind of scared me a little bit. She would only
Was it
talk
like
to Micah.
sanitary? Like, did those things go in other people's noses and like you just
Yeah,
shove it in your nose too?
No, so they come in like the bags like you would get at the ER, to show you that like they're fresh, right?
Uh-huh.
Ziploc
guess-
bags with a little bit of
Just
like
in the back
dust.
stapling them. Shit. Yeah,
It's a,
clean.
it's a Walmart bag. We're like, oh, it's clean.
It smells like Clorox. What is
Yeah.
it?
Mine smells like ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was an experience. And then she like,
You got the hose. There's like nose hairs on it. You're-
oh,
Got ripped straight out.
oh,
This smells like chloroform.
this is ass hair. This is ass hair on the. It's chloroform. In 5 minutes, we're like trying to keep from passing out. I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly. And we just went there. Was it right before? No, it was after the ER. So we were there like hoping I wouldn't pass out again from whatever she was putting in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing. They're everywhere in Colorado. I mean, and people swear by them.
Is it because of like the altitude thing? They talk about Colorado.
It's just it feels like a rich white people thing to be like, I bought oxygen up in the mountains. I don't know. I don't get it. But
Dude, I'm buying oxygen right now. Free.
yeah, I'm
25
paying to be
cents.
alive. but
25 cents. Inflation.
There's
It's
something
not
with
free anymore.
honestly with Juliana's oxygen that she's getting. Maybe she should go to the oxygen bar. I don't know what's in that house, but your house is fucking cursed. She's breathing in nitrogen this whole time. No wonder she's just shitting out her eyes and ears.
Christ.
I wish it was helium. Then I'd have like a fun voice going on all the time.
Yeah, then you'd have then your throat would be like. Instead of
I might throw up.
the throw up would sound like a chipmunk getting just run over by a car.
They should have that at the oxygen bar, but helium. They
Had
just have you
chipmunks?
guys-
Oh, helium, yeah.
They just have you guys
For
go into
sure.
I don't
like
think
a
you could
helium
breathe
bar.
straight helium for like 20
Why not?
minutes.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean,
Think
like
about how
the
funny
first time I
everyone would
even
sound,
heard
though.
one, like it can't actually be an oxygen bar. Like it's not oxygen because if it's just straight oxygen, like you can't do that. Like unless you actually need it, like your body's not getting enough. But I mean, if a regular person just took oxygen, like I'm pretty sure you get some side effects from that, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere. Maybe I'll look it up later.
Maybe not side effects, but they probably couldn't harness just pure oxygen like easily to distribute. It'd probably be more expensive.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so it was flammable and the whole place blew up.
I have an infection in my brain.
My brain is itchy. No. And then like
I'm
it was supposed
sad
to be
I
only...
missed out on that now.
Yeah. Well, that was the only thing that was a waste of time. And they chose to go to it. Mike and Sydney will. I'm just gonna call them out right now.
Now
They
you're
wanted
just
to go.
roasting them. Oh
Oh
yeah, you
yeah,
said
for sure. I would never have chosen to go to a fucking oxygen bar, huh?
you said that lady was only talking to Micah. Was she like hitting on him?
I guess it was weird. She was like 50, but I mean, like, she kept talking to him for extended periods of time about like, yeah, we saw a bear once. There was a bear, and and then she'd walk away, and Micah would look at me and be like,
She's just breathing heavily. I got to take another hit of oxygen real quick, guys.
This oxygen is in pill form.
Yeah. Powder.
this oxygen comes with a needle. Can you put this rubber band on my
I
arm?
gotta snort this oxygen.
Yeah, she was definitely on something, but yeah, there were other things. Like, you would think it's like a hookah bar, right? But you can like also get oxygen. No, it's just flavored piss. I don't know what to tell you. There were many more things on that menu, and I can't imagine that any of them smelled any different. I can't express enough how less of a scent there was. It's like the least amount of scent to the point of not having any scent at all. If that makes
Did
any
it
sense.
smell like plastic from the tube more than actual?
Probably. And I have a
That's
bad
what he's
nose.
smelling.
Yeah.
The plastic.
Well, she hooks it up to our nose, and it's just like cut on the other side. It's just an open tube to the air. We're like, yeah,
Smell
Yeah,
it.
I can smell it. Oh, you definitely smell it. It smells like, you know, like when you're at the ER, and they put the
Smells like
oxygen.
the popcorn stand over there. That's crazy.
I smell popcorn.
I smell
Weird.
burnt toast.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have made a better smell place than that one. I don't know.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I was like, and what was the?
I just mean, if you put a gun to my head and you were like, make this thing smell like something, it'd be a lot easier.
Start shitting yourself.
I would jam
Smelly.
I would jam a magic marker on the other end of that bitch, and everyone would be like, "Woo, Colorado!"
Colorado. Hey, weed is legal there. Is weed legal where you guys live?
In St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know. I assume so. Missouri's kind of lax on that, I feel like.
Not over here. But
Really?
right across the border in Illinois, it's legal.
Colorado is obviously legal. So.
Yeah.
Oh, so the reason I brought up the drinking thing was because, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but what I found out was the past couple times I tried to get drunk was that with ulcerative colitis, you have problems absorbing things. So my doctor was like, with alcohol or like whatever, food, edibles, whatever it is, like it will take you more to feel anything. But then to that point, the more you take, the more you're going to screw up your gut because you shouldn't be doing that stuff anyway. So it's, I don't know, interesting phenomenon. I'm like a very weak version of Captain America. It's like I can't get drunk, but I'm also dying of cancer.
No, stop. No.
That's like my biggest fear is that like they're not finding what's wrong with me and like I'm.
That's why I
currently
want
just
you to go to
dying.
fucking call Chicago, bitch.
Come over here.
I gave you the number. Call them. Get them set up because they'll find that stuff. I was going to get cancer before I had to go to them. They
I
straightened
was
me
gonna
out.
get the cancer.
Huh? Yeah, I was going to get the cancer. But, like, no, literally. I mean, we were at one of the best rated specialists in our area in Bloomington. He was not good. I could have done a better job than him. So we went to Chicago.
He just looks you up and down. Yeah, nothing.
He's like, he looks me up and down. He's like, "Can I put my finger in your butt?" I'm like,
Yeah, he spreads your ass cheeks and he's like, looks good. Yeah, spits.
I'm just like on the table, like, is that what's going on here?
You feel the hands on his shoulders. You're like, whoa!
I'm like, man, your finger is a lot bigger and longer than I thought it would be.
Oh god. Oh god. We're very thorough here.
He's like, I haven't found the cancer yet. 1 more minute. I'm cutting this out.
Oh, god. Good lord. No,
No,
when I
but I
got my
mean-
endoscopy done, they were like, it's so-
Doctor starts smelling.
He's just like, and we're good. Okay. You can leave. You can leave.
You can leave, nothing.
I haven't found anything. But come back tomorrow just to be sure. Maybe come to my house. You know, my wife's not here.
Wear those cute little jeans again.
Wear those cute little ripped jeans you like to wear. I've been here once. How do you know that? Just wear them. This is my first time being here. How do you know what clothes I wear? No, but I mean, he's just like most other doctors, where it's like they'll just keep you on or work. I mean, they'll just keep you in the same job forever if they can, unless you decide that something needs to change, right? I mean, same thing with this guy. I mean, he would have just kept trying shit out on me. They're like, well, that didn't work. Guess we'll just keep doing it for 2 years. And we did one of these for 2 years. I did 5 different meds, right? But one of them was like 2 years long. Anyway, none of the stuff was working. My dad was like, this is stupid. We went to this guy in Chicago. I don't know how we found him. But yeah, then he would like straighten the whole thing out. And he was like, we're only going to try things that we have to. And like, eventually the meds he put me on were like not on the market yet. He was just on the board of people approving them. Because, I don't know, he's just that big a guy. He's like, this is called Oxy. It's not quite on the market, but no. But I mean, and then like now I see this drug on commercials everywhere, but it's only for rheumatoid arthritis, obviously. But anyway, so yeah, you should call them because you need to figure out what's wrong with you, and they will definitely actually put you on a track of figuring that out. Because the reason I'm glad we switched when we did was because when we got there, he was like, we're going to try, we have enough time in the spans of like, you haven't been in remission in like 4 or 5 years, right? And he's like, that's long enough that if this next treatment we try doesn't work, you're probably going to be at risk for serious like colon cancer. And I was like, oh. So, and then thankfully the next like thing we tried basically worked, amongst other things that he put on me, like kick me into gear. But I mean, I was like right on the edge of that thing, you know, right? So it's like, our bodies can't take this stuff forever. It does damage. And especially with the gut stuff, because with intestine stuff, that's not necessarily stomach, like it can affect everything, but also like the pain, like we don't feel the pain in the gut. Like on an average every day, I should be feeling some amount of pain, but I don't because I don't know. It's not like your stomach. And I feel like anything lower, it's just really hard. It has to be really bad for you to start like feeling actual pain.
Yeah, but my aunt was like, well, she was a nurse. She's like, I feel like you know more than like the average patient since you've taken a lot of like med related courses. So like, you know about how the body works and how it should work, but not totally sure why doctors aren't listening to you. She's like, I think they like to kind of just dismiss a lot of younger women with stomach pain and kind of just kind of say like, oh, it's like period pain. It's like often a common misconception, I guess.
Well, especially if it's male
mine's
doctors.
Like constant.
Because they're like, women problems. Or like they just treat you like, well, and even like shorter people. I don't know. It's like they treat, because I know a few friends that are shorter.
Small
and they
little
always,
baby. Oh, you're so petite and weak. Oh.
Yeah, and they talk about people treating them like kids. And they're like, they can see I'm 25, right? I mean, and also doctors and just anybody in there like doesn't like to be told, because they have enough idiots that tell them things. But it's like,
yeah, sometimes
they should listen. Like I've been in so many ERs and blood draw places. I've had like hundreds of blood draws by now. And every single time I have to practically grab these people by the face and convince them I have really bad rolling veins, the worst rolling veins they'll ever see. And only half the time do they actually believe me. And by the time they get in there, they're like, oh, you weren't kidding. And then I'm like trying not to pass out on a fucking chair. Yeah, no kidding. So it's people just don't want to listen. People in general don't like being told what to do.
I mean, I understand why. I'm sure there's plenty of patients who come in and they're like, my 5 minutes on WebMD showed me that my symptoms say I have cancer right now. And the doctors are like, yeah, you went to med school.
But I mean, you could tell the difference between that person and a regular person, right? I mean, it's not that hard to distinguish who's a nut and who's not. You know, it shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, so that's why and someone else I know, I just recommended them to Chicago because for some kind of a separate reason, but it's not, I mean, it's kind of milder compared to the stuff that you and I have dealt with. But they don't want, it's just kind of awkward to go into a doctor and talk about, and you don't want to go in and the first thing they tell you is, let's get a colonoscopy, you know? So it's like, that's why I also recommended them to Chicago, because him as a doctor, he's my favorite doctor I've ever had. One of a kind of person, because I'm just not comfortable around men doctors in general anyway. I can't imagine how you feel.
You men.
But I mean, he makes you feel very safe, very comfortable. He's not ever rushing to get out of the room. He's always taking his time when he talks to you. He'll talk to your parents and you. He'll treat you both the same, but he won't like ignore your parents if they come. I mean, it's this whole, I don't know, the whole environment that he was in. It's a great place. And he personally did my colonoscopies, personally did the other stuff. I mean, because he knows I have issues with vein things now. That's like a really bad phobia now. So anyway, I mean, he could be a really good doctor, and I still would probably talk really good about him even if he didn't do the colonoscopy. But the fact that he personally did those, and he does them for his other patients, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Because, I mean, he travels, too, sometimes, like, to other, places, I guess, around the world, because he's, like, I guess, a big deal. So, anyway,
Dang,
that's
fancy.
why you should go, because he'll figure you out. I thought I wasn't going to get figured out because none of the medications were working for me, and they had no idea what to do, so... Go get checked out. And also, like, the nice thing, just separately, not that anyone that's listening cares about this, but, like, because I was talking to my friend that was scared, but, like, they didn't want anything invasive first off. But it's like there's a lot of uninvasive things they can do before to find out if you have something along the lines of IBS or whatever it is. But even colonoscopies now, like, I've gotten 2 or 3 at this point, and, like, several awake ones. But, like, the ones where they actually put you to sleep. The first one I did was, like, the one that everyone has in their mind when they think of it, where it's like, because it's the worst stuff is the drugs you take beforehand to wipe you out, right? I mean, it's the worst 6 hours of your life. But the second time I got a colonoscopy, they completely changed their procedure. I had to call them to make sure. I was like, this doesn't look anything like what it was before. And they're like, no, it's a new thing. And not that I would want to do it again, but I mean, it was fine. It was pretty painless, and it wasn't like that anymore. I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, they're getting better at this. So even if it, God forbid, came to the point of a colonoscopy, it probably wouldn't be that big a deal. Because I was worried about it, because last time I had one, it's so violent, it wiped me out of remission momentarily. So it was back to blood and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then it kind of like came back, But this time it wasn't violent like that. So it wasn't that big a deal. What I'm saying is, call Chicago. I want you to get cured.
There you go. For anyone listening, if you have tummy problems, call Chicago.
Come over here. We'll both.
I'm not joking. Yeah, if anyone's dealing with anything like what I've ever talked about for me, Dr. Rubin in Chicago, I'm gonna shout him out. Go find him. If you have the right insurance and stuff.
Yeah, my aunt thinks
dude.
My aunt thinks I should do like genetic, like no, like they like
editing.
They, like yeah, no, like genome testing stuff to see like cancer markers, because like there's a lot of cancer.
That's why I want you to go to Chicago, though, because in terms of knowing, that was the other thing with being in Bloomington, was I didn't know if we were on a drug because it was actually the right path to go on, or if it was because that's just like the check mark list that people go through normally. But like, I was worried that like, should we be checking for cancer and stuff? Like, again, with Chicago people, it's like if you're doing a test, it's because you should, and they're not missing out on anything, and they'll make sure that like they're doing whatever they need to for cancer stuff. So
yeah, my aunt thinks I have like some kind of like in vitro deformity or whatever, like some kind of gene issue, like something fucked up with my DNA, because like the way I'm sitting right now, I've double jointed knees, for example.
Ow.
Yeah, I've like double jointed knees, so like it's more
Fuck.
comfortable for me. I can sit crisscross applesauce, but it's more comfortable if you like sit with my knees bent.
What
Like
the fuck
the
is wrong with
opposite
you?
way. Yeah, and like
You
my
are a
skin,
freak.
like I can touch my yeah, I can touch my thumb to like my wrist really easily.
Oh,
and stuff
good.
like that. So like she's like, "Oh, those are like signs of like collagen not forming correctly," and
I don't
like
think
that's like a
people know.
DNA thing.
I
And
think
she was
honestly,
saying, like the hole in my head was like a malformation of my skull not closing properly or something. She was like, all of these things could be, oh, you got some kind of weird genome defect, and I'm like, okay.
well,
so...
again with the Chicago guy, specialists are specialists, and they have their checkmark list of stuff that they need to do, and that works for 95% of the people. But people like you and me are a little worse, and you are way worse than me.
We're a little
And
worse.
you need someone
we
that's
suck.
more, and you need someone more investigative. And that's the other thing. Like again, I think every episode I reference the show House, but I love House. You need a House though. You need someone that's dealing with the 1% of people trying to figure out what is making all of this shit happen, because something else is going on with you, and it's not easily definable, which is why it hasn't happened yet. But I don't think your aunt necessarily knows what's going on either. I just think it would take some time.
No,
but
yeah, she was a nurse, and she's like, she recently retired. She was.
I
like
think you have a parasite. If I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I mean, I've seen enough stuff. I'm like, there are some weird fucking
Yep.
parasites, and
My aunt was like,
in terms
"Oh,
of them being an
you-"
organism, there's some where it's like no way to actually detect, and it just mimics other stuff. I'm like, that's terrifying.
See, like, my aunt was saying, like, oh, you had, like, a lot of white blood cells in your urine when you went and got, like, your urine tested, and I'm like, yeah, and then she's like, that's, like, a sign of, like, infection, and I'm like, yeah, I'm aware, but, you know, they went and checked, and they said I had no infections along my urinary tract, so, and
Well,
then
it's
she's
an
like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's not an infection somewhere else in your body, and you also have, like, terrible night sweats, so, like, your body's fighting something off, and I'm like, oh.
I'm not even joking. I really think I could have diagnosed people watching that show because it's so in depth. But what I will say is not to completely disregard what that member of your family said, but your white blood cells would also be up if, like, for autoimmune stuff when your body's attacking itself. There is no infection, but it thinks your body is an infection. So that's another reason. And again, like when I was in the ER, my white blood cell count was up because I was dehydrated, B, because I have ulcerative colitis. So it's like hard for them to know if I have an infection.
Also, my results made, like, no sense. Like, it said I had a low amount of white blood cells being formed, like, new white blood cells being formed in my blood when I had the blood test done. But then in my urine, I was excreting high volumes of white blood cells. So it's like, that seems bad. And I'm like, no.
Again, I mean, this is... we say things don't make sense, but again, what I've learned is through engineering, through whatever it is, there is an answer
like a
to
puzzle.
pretty much absolutely everything. It's just that people don't want to dig into it and find what it is. But someone somewhere, that will make sense to somebody. You know what I mean? Keep those things in your brain, because when you talk to Chicago, because I'm going to make you fucking call them, that's the kind of shit that they're going to be interested in. Because what they want to know is when you talk to them, they want to know that you're not just another person with tummy aches, right? You want to give them indicators that would raise someone's eyebrows, where they're like, oh, okay, this is actually something that's like worse than the usual. This is weirder than normal. Something else is going on, right? But you need fucking help, girl. I'm not joking though. I mean, not to be weird, but I mean, like, you don't look sick at all. You look great. So I mean, congrats. I look like I'm dying right now. I'm sweating my ass off. I don't know why.
Dude, you know what you should say also when people are like, why are your cheeks so red? You should always just respond with, because you're embarrassed, like, that they're asking you that. Just say
No,
that.
why would I respond that? Because I'm a pussy.
Yeah, just say, because I'm embarrassed for
I'm
you.
shy.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed for you, and then walk away.
Why would I want to say that?
To make them uncomfortable.
It would make me uncomfortable. I would make them uncomfortable.
This whole face
Funny.
turns red.
I just piss myself violently.
That's like
I'm
the
embarrassed.
dog at the dog park.
Run away. No, when people ask me that, I should just immediately hold my breath so that as they're staring at me, it just gets worse and worse. And I'm like, oh, fucking damn it.
What is falling, your monitor?
It's light.
No,
isn't it?
my chair
Oh.
keeps hitting the table because it's at an awkward height and it keeps knocking over my light. I wonder why I'm sweating, because I have a light on my face and I'm wearing a jacket and my door's shut. This is basically a hot
bite.
box.
The bite,
I saw that earlier. I was going to mention it. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't
one I
know that you
never
got a
got.
bite sweatshirt.
You never got that one?
Yeah, who did you get yours from?
They just mailed it to me.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Who did?
Bite? They were like, what's your username? And I was like, livelihood, and then
The Clash
Yeah.
people or the Bite people?
I don't
Like,
know.
how long ago are we talking about?
It was still Bite then.
I didn't get one of those. What the fuck?
Oh.
This is bullshit. I mean, okay, to be
know.
fair, I mean, they paid me an insane amount of money, so I didn't need a
I don't know.
sweatshirt.
I just like it because it's like a huge sweatshirt. I bought like an extra large and it's like a dress on me, so.
Oh, you had to pay for it, or they actually just sent it to you?
No, I didn't buy it. They just sent it and asked for your
What the
size.
actual fuck? I never got one. The only reason I got one is because nice guy from Byte
Nice
just
guy.
made them.
I don't know if he posted that. I haven't put on Clash. I don't have space on my phone, so I deleted everything.
Yeah. Dude, your phone can only hold like a pixel at a time.
It's just because I take
scary.
I make so many videos, but I don't edit them, so they just sit in my phone, and that's all
Me
it is.
too.
Why not transfer them to like your computer or like an external like hard drive?
Much
That's
work.
what I'm doing now. Like I just
Okay.
got to it this weekend, but
Yeah, all my stuff is on my work laptop. So when they transferred stuff to my new laptop, they were like, "Oh, it should only take a second." I'm like, "No, I think I should do it, and I should use an external hard drive because there's a lot of stuff." And they're like, "Ah, it won't be that much stuff."
And they're like, a lot of stuff.
Oh, 350 gigs? Yeah, maybe you should.
And then they were just like immediately concerned. They were like, what kind of.
They were like,
content?
"Oh, what's on here?" And I was
Yeah.
like, things, work
just a
things.
bunch of like thumbnails of Daniel like running down that hall.
Yeah.
It's me in the Yoda costume.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh my goodness.
Jedi Retirement Home
fine.
number 2007.
I still get. I'll respond to comments because people will still like. It'll be a video about something completely random, and the comment will not even acknowledge the video. They'll be like, "Man, I missed when you made Jedi stuff," and I'll reply to those comments, and I'll be like, "This is really discouraging because clearly I've moved on from that at this point. Those videos were fun. I can't make any more. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing now." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
That was like when you posted them on Byte for like the first time, and people,
People
were
were
like, "Wow,
pissed on Byte.
you're like a sellout now." I didn't. Since you've been active on
they're
TikTok,
all a bunch
you
of fucking
started,
kids.
You started
Dumbass pieces of
changing
shit.
your content quite a bit, and you're like, okay.
All right.
As if they weren't doing equally ridiculous, dumb shit, fucking dumbass things. At least I had the wherewithal to make a good video. Goodness gracious. Ugh. I don't want to go too far down the thing. We should let Nick go.
Yes.
We're coming to that point in time. But, well, I mean, I'm glad that we actually got to meet up. I was a little... We're all kind of dying lately.
Woo.